Hey everybody, welcome back. I got the biggest lot pickup from eBay so far. This lot had 12 games and many of these are a specific type, which is what caught my eye, and you'll see what I got when we open this box. I think I talked about this a little bit on some of the other pickup videos that I didn't have a lot of games growing up. Like I didn't own very many, like less than 10. So in just one purchase, I have more games than I did when I was a kid. We used to rent all the time, but I didn't own a lot of games. And I got this at a really good price. It was a $50 lot, 12 games, which comes to about $4.16 per game. Now you have already seen 2 of the games in this lot that I used for a previous video. So we're only going to look at 10 today, which is still a lot of games. The 2 we've already looked at was Ninja Gaiden and Super Mario Brothers. Five screws. For all you serious collectors out there. And I don't know all these games. I did buy some of these blind just so I can get the entire lot because there were a lot of games in the lot I did want. But there are some games in here that I'm not really all that interested in, and we'll go over those right now. Well, not just the ones I'm not interested in. We'll go over all the games right now. First one up is the Tengen release of Ms. Pac-Man. What a classic Ms. Pac-Man is. Hugely popular in the arcade. I believe it was more popular than the original Pac-Man. It's very simple and addicting in its gameplay. Eat all the dots and dodge the ghosts, get the big dots to eat the ghosts. That's really all there is to it, and it was kind of cool. This one had cutscenes in between every few rounds where Ms. Pac-Man would interact with regular Pac-Man. This isn't one of the games I was really looking out for, but I'm not upset that it was included in this bundle. Next up, we have another Tengen game. Is it Tengen or Tengen? But anyway, we have another one. This one is Vindicators. I have never heard of this game. So this is one of the games that just came with the lot that I took a look at to make sure that it wasn't like the worst game in the world. And it looks pretty good. It's a very simple gameplay. You got tanks, you go around, you shoot things, you make it to the end of the level. I don't believe it's the most popular game because I've actually never heard of it before I saw this lot on eBay. But it doesn't look terrible, so I think I'm going to hang on to it. This next one is a very popular game. I think I played a little bit of it when I was a kid. I think this is one of the games that my friend had. So when I went over to his house to play stuff, I remember this being one of them. I don't remember if I liked it or not, but I wasn't looking out for this game either. So this is another one that I got so I can get the other games in the lot. This one's from Konami. We have Top Gun. Not a bad looking game at all. Konami knows how to make really quality games. I do like these types of flying arcade style shooter games, and I haven't played much of it in the past, so I figured I would give it a try. Next up is a classic arcade game. Really happy this was included with the lot. It's another Tengen game. We have Gauntlet. This is one of my favorite multiplayer games. Gauntlet puts you in these huge mazes with up to 4 players on some of the games, where you just go around, find meat and find treasure, kill bad guys, find the secret warps, try not to get hit by death, and make it out alive before you go hungry. The next one I have, I didn't even know came out for the NES. I've played it on the Genesis, so I am familiar with the game, and I'm happy it was included with this lot. Next up, we have the Tengen release of Shinobi. Shinobi is a huge, very, very popular series from Sega. It's a side-scrolling game where you play as the ninja. Something I liked about this one is that his main form of attack was Shuriken, and you're not forced to fight enemies up close. It gave the game an arcade feel, and I'm big on arcade games, so I was all for it. And the NES version looks pretty good, even compared to the Genesis counterpart. Here's another one that I'm not really familiar with. I haven't heard about this one, but Again, I'm not sad that it was in this lot because I checked out some videos on it and it looks like a fun game. And it has one of the coolest labels I've ever seen on a game. Next up we have MagMax. Look at the coolness. We have another side-scrolling shooter from the arcade with MagMax. It looks like you play as a robot and you can collect body parts to make yourself bigger and shoot more enemies. It looks like there's a couple tiers of levels. The arcade version had this really cool scrolling effect, which unfortunately isn't present in the NES version, but the gameplay looks like it's still just as solid. This next game is one that I may not even keep because I have zero interest in it at all. I've played it when I was a kid. I didn't really care for it back then. I'm not a huge fan of what the game is based on anyway. And you see this game so much on eBay in like every lot that you find. Next pickup we have is Hollywood Squares. Not much to say about this one. It's based on the game show where you're asked a question, you pick a square, which usually has a celebrity trying to answer the question for you, and you can either agree or disagree with that celebrity if they are right or wrong. If you guess correctly, you get to fill in that space tic-tac-toe style with either an X or an O. Get 3 in a row and you win! Probably a car or something. Or money. Next up is a black box game, and it's one of the more popular games. You see these in a lot of lots, but I don't think it's on the same level as Hollywood Squares. I think people actually enjoyed this game. So next up we have Golf. I'm actually a huge fan of video game golf games. I used to play the Hot Shot series all the time. I played a little bit of the Tiger Woods stuff on the Wii, and this one's actually not a bad game. It has a lot going for it with which club you select does determine how far your ball is going to go, wind speed, the lay of the course. It looks like this one will be a lot of fun to play. Just a couple games left. Our next one is the last Tengen game of this lot. So that was one of the main selling points of why I got this lot. There were 5 Tengen games included. I don't know if those are hard to find or not, but I liked a few of these. And this one specifically, I played when I was young. I loved it. This is one that my neighbor owned that I would go to their house and they would let me borrow it. Next up, we have Rolling Thunder. If I remember correctly, you play as a spy. You're going out just trying to rescue people hidden in these doors. Some doors also contain ammo. This is a pretty difficult game. You can only take a couple hits before you're out, but at the same time, a lot of the enemies you fight go down with 1 or 2 shots. I do like that different enemies behave differently depending on their clothing color. Some enemies will take more hits, or they'll have a different weapon they come at you with. A really fun, easy to pick up, but hard to master arcade style game. So we're down to the last game in the lot. This is a classic. Everybody knows this series. The last game I got in this lot was Metroid. There's not much I can say about the gameplay of Metroid because everybody knows what it's about. You play as Samus Aran, a space bounty hunter, looking for Mother Brain. You have to go through these caves, different areas. You have a ton of pickups, a ton of different weapons, beam styles, missiles to collect to get the job done. My personal experience with the game is that I've never beaten it, but it's not a completely unfair game. It does have a password system, so you can continue where you left off. The hardest part of the game is figuring out where to go since there is no map system at all. So overall, a difficult game. This is one I want to play on stream with you guys because I think it would be a lot of fun to finally beat it. So we got some really good deals with these games. We got a lot of really great picks here. A couple that I'm on the fence about that I probably don't really care about. I won't play. Maybe I'll give away or something. Let me know below what you thought of this lot. Are there any games that you played when you were younger that you have really good memories about? How about some of the lesser known games like MagMax or that Vindicators game? That's it for me. Make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. This is the part of the video where I thank those users who support the channel through YouTube memberships and Patreon. Jordy Alex, Rick67, Travis Morton, Mike Muniz, Sam Torres, Yaroslav Orudzov, Andre G, Den Cardoso, Dor, Jason Hallbrooks, Craig Livesley, Magnesium Winterjuice, Ronald Hernandez, and Batman.